Hey guys, today I want to discuss a hot topic and provide a practicing therapist's opinion on what's really happening with J-Lo and Ben Affleck from a psychological perspective. We'll dive into why they got back together in the first place and why they eventually divorced. I'm Darina, I'm a practicing therapist in Australia. Let's get started. Firstly, let's examine why they got back together. It wasn't simply about love. Instead, it involves something called pink retrospection. That's why I'm wearing pink shirt today. When Ben and J-Lo first met, they were both in their 30s, a time when emotions and experiences can feel particularly intense. They were young, famous, and in love, but it wasn't just their relationship that was vibrant, it was the entire context of their lives at that time. Pink retrospection is the phenomenon where we remember the past with a rosy glow. It's like when our parents say that the food used to taste better, the streets were safer, and the music, of course, was so much better than now. They don't remember the hardships like having less money or the worse crime rates. They remember only good parts. Similarly, Ben and J-Lo not only recall their relationship, but they also remember how they felt when they were younger. And when they reunited, it was as if they were trying to recapture that youth, to relive those beautiful moments. They probably forgot the reasons why they broke up in the first place, but that's how pink retrospection works. It erases the negatives and highlights only the positives. I believe you guys can clearly see this phenomenon. Even in your own life, who hasn't looked up their ex from their teenage years or younger years on Facebook and wondered, what if we met now? You can almost smell the summer evenings when you were walking in the park, holding hands and eating ice cream. Of course, you can recall the fights, but you most likely can't feel how much it hurt if there was an abuse or other problems. Anyway, these two got back together and lived through their emotions for a while. But what started to happen when that first wave of hormones calmed down? They started to face reality. And the reality is that they are two very different people. If you watch their interviews from 2003 or 2004, you can see they had the same level of energy. Ben and Jennifer were in sync. Both active and bubbly, interrupting each other in a seemingly harmonious exchange. However, after their reunion, it's clear the years apart sent them in different directions. Ben struggled with alcohol addiction, which he has spoken about many times. And as someone who works with people dealing with drug and alcohol addiction, I can tell you this takes a toll on mental health. Even if a person is in recovery for years, changes in the brain have occurred. Ben has faced depression several times and he's not the same Ben he was 20 years ago. Jennifer, on the other hand, has had a fantastic career. She remains fit and active and has continued to thrive in her element. And now these two have to somehow reconcile their temperaments and lifestyles. But if they were once on the same level, now they are far apart. And here is the proof. Ben shifted to more of a behind-the-scenes role, becoming a producer instead of being in front of the camera like when he was younger. On the other hand, J-Lo has become even more popular, expanding her career not just as a singer but also as an actress. They've adapted to what feels most comfortable for their personalities. Ben prefers staying out of the spotlight and J-Lo loves being center stage. You can really see how uncomfortable Ben gets when Jennifer makes him pose for the cameras or play up for the public. He used to be okay with it, but now it seems overwhelming. I think they've had a few tough conversations about this. They're not in their 30s anymore when you might mold a little to fit your partner's preferences. As people get older, they tend to get set in their ways. Technically, they just get more rigid. So it looks like they couldn't find common ground. Ben wants to chill, enjoy his donuts and cigarettes alone, while J-Lo, as we saw in her autobiographical movie, wants something different. And I want to stress that both lifestyles are okay as long as they're what each person really wants. But why are people so upset and speculating so much about this situation? Who cares who divorced who, right? Here, another psychological explanation. These two made us believe in a sort of fairy tale that no matter how many years pass, the love will overcome everything. You can have marriage with someone else, children, and finally reuniting with the love of your life to live happily ever after. And now people have to face the reality that fairy tales are just fairy tales. And here is real life. But people have enough real life in their lives. They want their fairy tale. Oh well, it didn't happen. But how come? Ben claimed he always loved Jennifer, right? But did he for real? Which Jennifer did he love? The shiny, bright, outgoing star that everyone adored? Or maybe the controlling one who maybe tried to change him or told him what to do, right? We'll get back to that in a minute, but it's easy to love someone from far, similar to the long-distance relationship, because you're not in love with the person, but with a projection of what you think they are. It's to love someone whose ways, habits, and attitudes you don't have to face daily. But what about Jennifer's controlling behaviors? There are rumors that she was actively involved in managing aspects of Ben Affleck's lifestyle, including his fitness and health. It is suggested that she encouraged changes in his diet and fitness regime, which may include hiring a professional trainer to ensure both were maintaining a healthy lifestyle. What do you think was the reason for that? We are not jumping to conclusions about who is good or bad, but it's clear that J-Lo was the dominant partner in this couple, controlling aspects of her career, looks, and so on. And of course, she could not risk Ben's lifestyle, undermining everything she built over those years. So technically, he didn't just marry her, he married her entire lifestyle. And now, why did they feel the need to marry? Why couldn't they just date, avoiding all this divorce drama? Well, the answer is simple. Because they can. These people have access to the biggest pleasures of life that we can hardly dream about. They've been everywhere, they've done everything and can buy anything. But what they cannot buy is emotion. So they married to experience this emotion, knowing well that if it didn't work out, they could simply divorce. No big issue for them. If average people like you and like me have to think twice or even 10 times about committing to marriage, and moreover we have to think about the costs and logistics of a divorce, celebrities have it much easier. $1 million here, 10 millions there, it's not a problem for them. Let me know in the comments section what you think, guys. Subscribe to my channel where we talk all about relationships and mental health. You can also book a one-on-one counseling session with me. All links are in the description of this video. Look after yourself and your loved ones, and I'll see you next time.